Happy Sunday, everyone, and welcome to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. As today the Marquette Golden Eagles welcome the Central Michigan Chippewas to Valley Field in the Golden Eagles' last game before conference play. Alongside Jackson Gross, I'm Jack Lewandowski, and we'll be with you today for today's exciting matchup. This is the 8th all-time meeting between these two teams, and Marquette has the all-time series lead by 3, and over the last 4 games, these teams have played each other. Both teams have split both games. Now, Jackson, my first question relates to you, and who has the upper hand at face value coming into today's game?
I mean, it's tough. Both these teams are right around 500. Central Michigan at 5-5, Marquette 4-6, and they've had some tough struggles so far. I mean, obviously that road trip for Marquette, not the best result you want, losing to San Diego State and Oregon, but I got to say, with it being at home and just strictly based off Marquette's home record of 2-0, I'm going to give the slight edge to the Golden Eagles here.
Now, Jackson, how is Coach Meredith Black going to inspire her girls to really get the win in today's game?
Just preaching that same mentality and that whole thing about talking about how, when I was talking to Shea Garcia this week for a story I had for the Marquette Tribune, she said they had the whole mentality of help a sister out. And especially with Marquette now missing 2 players, and Hannah Greving and Lee Steiner for the year, it's going to be huge for everyone to help each other out. And then also make sure that they have a good hustle. That's been one of their other main focuses all year long, is to hustle.
Now let's throw it down to the third member of our team, Molly Gretzlog, for an introduction on today's matchup. Molly?
This Marquette women's lacrosse team is obviously coming off of 2 tough away losses. But today, Coach said that the team is just excited to get back at home, and the players are too. She said in practice, she could see that the emphasis and the energy was up, knowing that they have a home game. She also said that CMU team is somebody that they played every year since this program has started. And it's just a great Midwest matchup. So we should see a tough, gritty game today. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Molly. And Jackson, looking at the overall teams and coming up on the schedule for Marquette, how do you think they're going to be able to handle these teams going forward towards the start of conference play?
Well, it's going to be huge for them because 4 out of their last 6 after this one are at home. And I mean, 8 of their first 10 were on the road. So, and all year long, when I've talked to these girls, they've said, we want to win the Big East Championship. And obviously, you have to do it in conference play. But having 4 out of 6 conference games at home, that's where they make their mark, and that's where you have to show that you are a Big East title contender.
Now, Jackson, with envisioning Marquette's place of play today and how they're really going to attack the game straight out, do you think they're going to be more aggressive, or do you think they're going to take their time on offense and defense and look for the perfect shots?
Well, I think it's really, like you said, it's going to be them finding the right opportunities to be aggressive and conserving their energy, especially like we've talked about, look, a couple of players down at this point in the year. But it's just because that in prior games they've talked about, and the second half offense has not been very good. I believe against Oregon they scored 3 goals in the second half. So if they're able to conserve their energy a little bit and have a more balanced offensive game so that way they can stay in a close game with some of these better teams, that's what they're going to have to do.
Absolutely, and now as we look at the head-to-head stats between the two teams, Jackson, the blaring difference is the goals, obviously, but looking at shot percentages, let's just talk about some of the things that they can do to increase those numbers today against this Chippewa team.
Well, like we just talked about, it's picking your spots. I mean, obviously, you want to get shots on net, you want to pepper the goalie as much as possible, but you also have to find the right opportunities. If you're getting doubled, it's not a good opportunity to shoot it. So just finding the right offense, have good playmaking ability, making sure that you're playing together as a team, that's going to be huge for them today.
And obviously the face-off percentage is also blaring. And how important is it for Marquette to get those face-offs and get on offense in good plays today?
Well, you want to get out to a lead early here, so if you have the ball, you can score. So making sure they do a better job on the draw controls and the face-offs is going to be huge for them today.
And, with this matchup, after this matchup, they're going to be headed to, Connecticut to take on the Huskies at UConn. And, after that, they're going to be back at Valley for 4 straight games. How important is the game at Valley today and the next 4 home games imperative this team, obviously, with talking about conference play?
Well, we got to send it to the national anthem before we answer that, Jack. So.
And Jackson, now as we return after the national anthem, let's talk through some of the lineups that both teams are really putting out there today. Obviously, we're going to have Shea Garcia being a real force of nature at her positions, and Central Michigan's really going to have to stop that. And it starts with Jillian Baldwin in the middle, and you know, more of Hallie Moore and Audrey Whiteside at the midfield as well to contest Shea Garcia and Kelly Hoyt as well. You know, just looking at some of these Central Michigan starters, how important is it for them to be able to shop Shea Garcia? Because really no one can.
Well, it's going to be really interesting to see, because taking a look at their roster, they only have 2 listed defenders on their roster. So their game plan is to dominate the middle and then get it to their offense.
And as we see some of the more offensive players in Courtney Burke, Brendan Patty, Amanda Hillebrand, and Alexa Martell in the net, she's going to have a big day as well, being able to guard some of these real electric Marquette offensive players.
Yeah, it's going to be huge for Alexa Martell to be able to stop some of these Marquette players today.
And especially looking at Kyra Lamont, Mary Schumer, Shea Garcia, like we said, and Emmy Socodato, who is really just going to really bring up that offensive end. But more than that, they can both play defense and really get, really get stops on their defensive end of the field. Yeah,
Emmy Socodato, as Molly talked about, she's a real spark plug for this offense and for this team as a whole. She was named a junior captain for a reason.
And Amanda Rumsey going to be in the crease for Marquette, as we'll talk about her more later. But Jackson, let's throw back to Molly on the sideline. Molly, what do you got for us?
A key to this team and a player to look out for today is Emma Socodato. She is a junior and she has been a part of this team for a while now. And now the seniors are even complimenting her. She may not be the oldest on the team, but they say they are proud of how she steps up and takes control of this team. They say that she's very vocal, and they even added in that she's always vocal, but she's been vocal in different ways this season. Being able to step in when the team needs somebody to get on their back and be a little harsh to get the words across and to make sure that the team is staying on top of how they should be playing. And she's the key on that offensive side. She's been scoring numerous goals every game. So you can see her today and see how she'll get this team going. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Molly. As we get ready for the face-off here, Jackson, one more question to ask. Who's your pick to click for today? Who do you really have coming out of this game strong?
Ooh, I like that. Pick to click. That's a really good one. I'm going to say for Marquette, look for Mary Schumer to have another big game. Team leader in assists with 19 on the year. She's going to be really setting up some of these Marquette attackers.
As we get ready for the draw here, Marquette's going to come off strong. And an infraction will lead to Marquette taking this one. As we start with Socodato, she's going to want to swing things and get things across to her own line. As Jackson, as we see a little bit of aggressive play coming out of the gate for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, getting that offense rolling early is going to be huge for them.
Schumer rolling things to the back of the island. Now we have Garcia with her left. Swings to her right, spins. Leads it off, Faust. Left-handed. Back into the crease. No shot there. Bodner back over to the corner. And Socodato chasing. And that will lead to the Chippewa ball.
Strong defense from the Chippewas, really not allowing either Faust or Garcia to get any room there. Great play.
Now we come up to Brendan Patty, leading things down the right side. A little bit of a discombobulation on the goal there. And that will lead to a Chippewa goal. Jackson, what was going on there with who was in the crease?
I don't know. Rumsey was completely out of her crease. I don't know. Because I was just looking over as Central Michigan was coming the other way, and Rumsey was just like near the sideline almost.
As we look at a replay here, we'll see just in fact what was going on. As it looks like Brianna Nixon was able to put that one away and won the Marquette Golden Eagles, which they could have back.
Yeah, and that's the type of play you can have here with the miscommunication with the young defense, and you got to be better than that, especially with such a veteran goalie.
Marquette getting set for another face-off. Hopefully things can go their way this time with Josie Kropp coming back into the draw circle.
She's been huge stepping in for Lee Steiner this year after she went down against Northwestern.
Kropp brings it back to her side. A good pickup there by the Golden Eagles and Ellie Henry. Back over to the corner now, Schumer. She wants to take things all the way around herself. And back up to the top. But Bodner passes it over to Shea. She spins, won't get anything going, but we do get a stoppage of play, and it looks like an offensive foul there, drawn by the hand of Shea Garcia.
I don't know about that one, that call there, but nice try by a spin move from Garcia. Just, again, Central Michigan doing such a good job on the defensive end.
Josie Allen taking her time here in her own defensive zone, passing it off to Jillian Baldwin, who's going to try to get things in the clear off herself. Gets it by, and now we have McKenna Hun taking it herself. Whiteside now, dynamic player, passing it behind the net. A little bit of a miscommunicated pass there. And now Central Michigan's going to look to set something up. Whiteside swings it off. As back up to Hoyt, she's going to look to drive by, take a shot with her left hand, and that one's going to fall as Kendall Hoyt pulls away by 2 for the Chippewas.
That's her 18th goal of the year already for Kendall Hoyt. That was just another strong play there from Central Michigan.
And really a tough defensive play there by Jasmine Murray. Part of the, a lot of what we talked about in pregame is how important this defense is really going to have to tighten up. And as you see Jasmine Murray's, attempt there to try to get by, that Central Michigan player, that shot was really just easy and really too close for Marquette's liking.
Well, you can see on the replay that there's just a noticeable size difference between Murray and Kendall Hoyt. So she was able to use her size to drive the middle of the crease and snipe one home.
Just under 12 and a half minutes to go in this first frame. Central Michigan's going to take over.
Elise Marshall grabbing that one.
Audrey Whiteside working by a few. Going to play the advantage here. Whiteside closely defended, getting pushed into her own corner, able to get out. Wants to take things back up top with Kendall Hoyt. Central Michigan Jacks on the pace of play, taking their time, waiting for the right shot here.
And you saw that on that second goal. They took at least the first half of that shot clock to get that second goal.
Now under 12 minutes, Diebold back up to Whiteside.
Nice little handoff.
A really good, pick and pop there. Try to get things going as it's goosed down and picked up by Brendan Patty. Over to Diebold once more. Midfielder shakes, back over. Courtney Burke. Just under 11 and a half now in the first.
25 seconds on that shot clock.
Good defensive play by Marquette, but thwarted by the referees.
Looks like, I don't think that's.
It looks like a free possession. No. Yeah, it looks like a free possession shot coming up here for the Chippewas.
It looks like Burke taking the shot.
She doesn't come up with that one, and a good save by Rumsey.
I believe that's Rumsey's first save of the day.
Closely guarded there by Courtney Burke. And Rumsey gets things going the other way. As it looks like Audrey Brett's going to try to take it herself. She gets across half field.
Good speed from Brett.
Working it, taking north and south. Picked up quickly by Marquette. And taking the other way.
Nice play by Martell breaking up that pass as Marquette was trying to get it back to the other side of the crease to set up the one-timer, but great play from Martell.
Martell having a pretty good game early on as their Central Michigan double team at half field. Going to take it back the other way. As Josie Allen's going to try to get it across half court, and that won't work. Another stoppage in play leads to another Chippewa possession.
Looks like Whiteside's eyewear fell off.
As now Central Michigan's going to look to take things up their left side of the field. Courtney Burke. And it's swung all the way up to Potter. Over to Whiteside, back over to Hoyt. Burke now looks. Swings it over to Whiteside. Whiteside drives with the right, spins.
Good defense from Marquette here on this possession.
Potter back to Whiteside, trying to set up a shot. Fakes, realizes she can't get anything going, and takes it out to look for another breather.
Oh my goodness.
Drives. And a good save by Rumsey. And back the other way comes Marquette.
Marquette got real lucky on that opportunity. There was a wide gap in between that near right side. But great defense and great stop by Rumsey.
Jackson, some of the pitfalls for the Chippewas earlier, hanging onto the ball towards the crease. You know, that's really come up and had the negative effect. As Marquette gonna score there, as it looks like Mary Schumer was able to put it by, and Marquette taking advantage of a Chippewa possession that we thought were gonna go the other way.
Yeah, it was good defense to offense there from Marquette, and it was a nice little turn around shot from Mary Schumer there to get her goal. You know, she typically assists everybody else, but this time she gets one for herself.
Just under 9 minutes to go in the first, and Marquette cuts this deficit to just one on the help of Mary Schumer.
And that was a really good location on that shot as well, because Martell had her stick up high. Schumer goes down low, bottoms.
Looks like Schumer didn't even realize that it was in the crease until it was actually the whistle blew. A really good quick shot there to really put one over the head of Alexa Martell.
Again, it's going to be Kropp in that draw circle.
See if Kropp can pick up another one for the Golden Eagles here. A really good showing from this Marquette crowd today, Jackson.
Yeah, both times. I'm not sure what's going on here, but yeah, both times I've been here, it's a good, nice, sizable crowd for both Marquette home games, and it's nice to see that some of these other sports are getting some love.
As now we're going to pick it up with Lydia Faust, who shoots, and a great save by Martell. And the stoppage in play. Oh, and a goal.
Oh my.
That was hard to catch from over here, but wow, what a shot from Marquette. And now we're looking at a tied game, Jackson. Just about 8:30 left in the first here.
I think there might have been a deflection, because when I first saw it, I thought it went off of Martell's mask. So I guess it must have bounced off and bounced into the net.
See if we can get another view here, but wow, what a shot.
that had some heat on it. That
really did.
That had some absolute heat on that shot.
Here we get a replay here. We can really see what's going on. As we get some of the first highlights of this one, thus point to the 8:38 mark. As we see, we're going to go back. We're going to cut back to the draw here. The Marquette new life here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, after giving up the first two, they've struck two back themselves and might get possession here again.
A good pickup for Marquette. Things are going to start to go their way. Good coverage by Rumsey out of the net. Now Marquette looks to take things the other way. Driving. Could get another quick shot there for Lydia Faust, who was able to pick up that last goal for the Golden Eagles.
Good job to pull it back out, run your offense, and get a good opportunity.
Schumer back up to the top, and Hannah Bonner is going to take it. Passing it back over to Faust. Garcia really ringing around the rosy here to get this offensive possession started.
It's like a good game of keep away going on right now.
Faust with her right hand, drives in, has space, shoots, and scores again. Marquette really playing off the backs of Faust early here, in addition to Schumer. And this offensive team is really starting to come out hot.
Yeah, they're 3 goals in a row. That's Faust's 21st point of the season. She's been a really strong and good veteran presence for this Marquette team with so many new players this year, 11 total new players. So she's showing out today.
Those quick strikes here. Marquette now leads from, as opposed to 4 minutes ago when they were down 2 goals, really being able to have a quick turnaround there.
Yeah, Central Michigan was up by 2 with 12:28 left, and we're about 7:47 left here in the first quarter. Marquette's got the lead.
Back to the draw we go. High winding draw up in the air, picked up by the Golden Eagles. Scrummed around, goosed out eventually. Central Michigan looks like Whiteside's going to try to pick it up. As that one gets goosed back out, and Marquette's going to take it the other way. Back on offense they go.
Good intensity from both sides, really showing who wants it and fighting for that loose ball.
Schumar over to Garcia. Garcia with her left, going to try to get another shot off. Doesn't realize she can and throws it back to the island.
He's Smeagol passing over to Garcia now.
Swing, shot, good. Lauren Shaw. Marquette now up by 2. Really not the way we thought this was going to go a couple minutes ago, Jackson.
No, not at all, considering how Marquette was starting out. Central Michigan had all the momentum, and that's going to force a timeout from head coach Sarah Tisdale of the Chippewas.
And really, we talked pregame about Shea Garcia and how important she's going to be, but really ascending into a role player today. Not lighting it up on the scoreboard as much, but really playing her offensive possessions well. And her skill allows her to get some really good shots and goals set up.
Yeah, I mean, she's not. Obviously, she's got the 26 goals. That's the huge part of her game. But that assist, that's her 12th of the year. So she's not afraid to do a little bit of playmaking.
So obviously, with Meredith Black, talking to her team right now, do you really think? What do you really think the main goal and main emphasis of this timeout is going to be for her?
Yeah, it's going to be huge, just to kind of keep up with the momentum they've had over the last few minutes.
And now we're going to look at a quick player comparison between Shea Garcia, who we just talked about, and Audrey Whiteside, who's been facilitating her offense well. Like we talked about pregame, there are some blaring things between these two teams, like the goals between Garcia and Whiteside, but really the shots have been even, points have been even, and obviously their games played even. What do you see, and who do you think has the leg up today in today's competition between the two?
These are two of the best players in this game today. Obviously, Garcia's got that goal-scoring prowess of 26, but Whiteside really makes Central Michigan go perfectly even, just like Thanos would have wanted. 18 goals and 18 assists heading into this one. So, but no, she really makes this Central Michigan offense go, and part of the reason they've scored 92 goals on the year.
And as we look at Whiteside's assists, I mean, she's been on fire. I mean, really setting up her team and making sure things go her way. Keep your eye out for these two players today. They may not, score as many goals as you want, considering the goal distribution thus far, but really putting their teams in the best position to succeed is something that both these two girls are really good at.
Yeah, that's what you do as leaders. Obviously, Garcia, the senior, Whiteside, the junior. You do anything and everything you can to get your team to win, whether that's scoring 26 goals or having 18 goals and 18 assists.
Talk about Josie Kropp, in this draw circle, really getting things going for her team offensively and rarely going on the defensive after these draws.
Yeah, she's been real solid today on the draw control. And just a quick note on that goal from Lauren Shaw, first career goal with Marquette.
Wow, congratulations to her. And Whiteside going to take it herself. Guarded closely by Kropp. Gets it back over the circle. And now Central Michigan's going to look to take things the other way, but quickly defended by Marquette, and now things are going to go the other way for the Golden Eagles.
Nice pick up there by Brett. See if they can get it over half field.
Byerly now taking things herself, right down the middle. She's got a little bit of space, but she's going to pass it off. Things go behind the net. Stoppage in play here.
Got to fix the shot clock. They said it's got to be 70 on the clock, not the 82.
As Marquette's going to look to get things going here after the stoppage in play. Possibly a quick wraparound by Byerly. But now Garcia working, guarded closely. They really have her name on the stat sheet and in the pregame as well.
She was absolutely hounded, double teamed the entire way.
Faust now, left hand. Gets a shot off, and that one goes for Faust. Once more. Really getting her name on the stat sheet today, Jackson.
Yeah, she's taking advantage of the opportunity. They're like, all right, if you're going to double Shea Garcia, we're going to throw Lydia Faust at you. And she's got a hat trick already here in the first quarter.
How about that? Now just down to about 6 1/4 left in this first quarter of play. And Lydia Faust has just been lighting it up. Someone that, in the pregame, I'm sure Coach Black really wanted her to get her flowers today. And the way that the offense has been setting up, she's really been doing that.
Yes, she's been a real solid player this year. She's got now 18 goals on the year with those 3 today. And third time she's had a hat trick all year, so stepping up with a couple other players down in the scoring department.
Kropp once more to take the draw here. And Elise Marshall can't get that one going, but Central Michigan nonetheless takes it going, and now Whiteside's going to try to get it going her way for her offense and really try to get the Chippewas back in this one.
Marquette 5 goals in a row. Central Michigan hasn't scored in almost 6 minutes.
A good spin by Whiteside leads to a pass over. Patty's going to try to throw that one behind on the island. Burke tries to go back to her right. Back once more to Hoyt.
I'm liking the overload set here from Central Michigan, getting a lot of players on one side.
And a great defensive play by Marquette to pick that one up, and now they're going to go the other way.
And who else but Lydia Faust on the play?
Oh, getting taken away there, and Central Michigan with Brendan Patty and a great defensive effort to get that one going. Now they're going to look to go back on offense.
That's a real solid player. She's got 13 ground balls on the year, Patty does.
Allen trying to get things going. Hallie Moore now swings it over to Diebold. Another quiet showing. We thought someone who was going to, obviously someone in the games that they played this season who's blended well with Whiteside. We're going to get a stoppage of play here, and Central Michigan will pick up where they left off with Diebold swinging it over to Whiteside.
Diebold with 29 goals to lead the Chippewas this season. Heading in, she had 6 against Akron on March 16th.
Hoyt now spins, going to try to go back around the island. Chippewas trying to get a shot off, but Marquette's defense just really smothering them right now.
They're making them work for every single shot, and they get it.
One goes past Rumsey, and we have ourselves a game. 4:24 left in this first frame.
Almost feels like the classic announcer's jinx. We talk about, they're doing really good defensively. First shot, it goes in, but great patience by Central Michigan to get a really good shot.
While Marquette came up short on that one for a goal there by Kendall Hoyt, they really did hold their own well on that defensive possession.
Yeah, made Central Michigan use 60 of that 90-second shot clock. It's a good defensive possession, but like I said, it's good job from Central Michigan staying patient, and Kendall Hoyt snipes home another.
Marshall and Kropp going up against each other as they've been doing all game so far. A real over effort here from both teams as the goals have been flying in from left and right, challenging both goalkeepers in their creases. Central Michigan going to pick this one up. Whiteside working her left. Passing it over to Allen. Now over to Potter. Brendan Patty with a great offensive and defensive effort today thus far, just setting up her teammates and really getting something going for them. There's a shot just over the top of Rumsey.
Great drive by Courtney Burke.
Hoyt now. Passing it over to Burke. Burke over the top.
Wow.
And one that's going to fall in there for Kelly Hoyt. Nothing they could do. That one falls on the defense, Jackson. Being able to be that close to the crease.
Yeah, and Kendall Hoyt was right in the middle, basically right in front of Amanda Rumsey there, and looked like a little miscommunication because Faust stayed on that right post instead of moving towards the middle. And excuse me, that's Kelly Hoyt, excuse me, not Kendall. But good shot nonetheless. But yeah, Faust was on that right post. She should have shifted over to cover the middle, but great job by Kelly Hoyt to find the open spot and snipe another home.
We have a new face for Marquette on the draw circle, and that one comes in the form of Mary Blee.
Junior from Howard County, Maryland.
Obviously a height difference there, Jackson. How can that help out on the draw?
Well, actually might help Central Michigan because the lower position you can get, you have a better opportunity of trying to get your own leverage that way. But Mary Blee's good at what she does.
Is Blee hoping that this one can get launched up in the air to use that height advantage and possibly put her stick up there to take this one and really hope for a Marquette offensive possession off of that one?
Yeah, heading in, Mary Blee's got 34 draw controls on the season. Make it 35.
And there we go. Mary Blee taking things up herself. Taking advantage of the open space, passing it over. And Marquette now behind the net with Mary Schumer.
Good defense there from Central Michigan, forcing Schumer out wide below the net.
Socodato over to Garcia. Here comes the tough defense. Garcia back to her right side. No pass there. Over to Samantha Galvin. Swings it behind the net. Schumer. Over to Bodner. Bodner spins.
Ooh.
Takes a shot. And a save by Martell. And the Chippewas are going to take over.
What a spin move from Hannah Bonder to get in position, but great play by Central Michigan as Rumsey's got to run back to her crease.
And it looks like Patty going to take things out, take a breather. Look for things to shape up for Central Michigan. Whiteside, inside, takes the shot.
Ooh.
Over the top of the net goes Diebold.
Just missed the crossbar.
Getting balls on net's going to be something serious for the Chippewas, and we've really seen that early on, Jackson.
Yeah, they've had a ton of goals and a ton of shots this season already for Central Michigan. Ooh, nice spin from Whiteside.
Not going to fall, and we do get a stoppage of play. It looks like Hannah Potter was pushed a little bit. But now down to just 2:15 in this first frame of play. Marquette leads by a score of 5-4.
That's going to give free position opportunity for Central Michigan.
And a pass out to Whiteside. Inside. Shot. Falls for Courtney Burke. And we have ourselves a tie game here with just about 2 minutes left in the first.
Much like basketball is a game of runs, today's game for lacrosse has been a game of runs. Marquette goes on a 5-0 run, but Central Michigan has been able to respond with 3 in a row to tie this up with 2 minutes left. Courtney Burke, her 19th goal on the season. She had 19 goals all of last year.
Jackson, if I'm Amanda Rumsey, what am I telling my defensive squad here as they huddle up right in front of their own net?
You just got to keep communicating there, because there's been a couple times now, especially on that last possession, where Rumsey's far out of her crease, thinking Marquette still has the ball, but then Central Michigan gets a quick turnover, and she has to run all the way back. And that's on your midfield and your defense to communicate, hey, change.
And Blee is back in the middle here. We're going to look to get another draw going here. Jackson, did you see a high scoring game in the prediction?
Not necessarily. I mean, I know Central Michigan is obviously, as we talked about, really good on the offensive end, but man, a bunch of these games for Marquette sports have been a lot more high scoring than anticipated. Obviously, that Thursday night game in the WNIT for the women's basketball team and 92-82 game. Again, something I was not expecting.
A little bit of a miscalculation there leads to Mary Schumer taking herself with a nice spin.
Hey!
The spin moves have been on point today for the Golden Eagles as Marquette regains the lead with just under 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter.
What? Man, you're absolutely right. The spin moves have been absolutely on point this year. Mary Schumer, another nice looking shot there and perfectly set up by her footwork.
We see the stick checks out by the referees. And now, Jackson, how important is it to not be complacent with the lead right now? Obviously, we've seen so many changes, but how important is it going to be for Meredith Black to instill that in her team that, hey, just because we're up 1, it's not over?
Yeah, that's absolutely. I mean, they were up 3 and Central Michigan tied it, so I hope that would have gotten it through. But overall, I mean, like, you just got to say, you have to keep, once you get the momentum, you have to run with it the entire way. You can't put off your foot off the gas. You have to just go.
And another draw for Glee. As this one falls into Whiteside. She's going to take it herself, trying to use that speed to get around the right side.
Good defense.
Good defense there by Dietrich to push her to the back of the net. And now Central Michigan's going to want to get another go at it. Now up to Patty. And over to Diebold. Diebold with a flip. Cancels it. Sits back, and Courtney Burke. They're going to look for that in-close shot, Jackson. That's my interpretation of this.
Yeah, they're trying to set up that opportunity with getting a player right in front of the net, but good defense from Marquette so far.
Potter pushed out. Good defense there by Marquette.
Ooh.
But a good spin. And a fake shot is going to occur in a stoppage of play. And Riga might get another free position shot.
Yeah, nice job right there by Hannah Potter. She split the double and was able to get to the crease.
If I'm both coaches at halftime, I'm telling you to watch the spins.
Making everyone look like washing machines out here.
It's now Whiteside. Gonna look to work on a Marquette defense. As that leads to the 1-minute mark here in the first quarter. Whiteside shoots and scores, just getting it over the head of Rumsey. And there's that star player-esque activity. And now the game is tied.
Now Whiteside, again, another spin move to open herself up. And Rumsey had her stick in a pretty good spot there, but just a really good velocity on that shot from Audrey Whiteside. And she was able to get that one home. Yeah, that stick was high from Rumsey. It's just she picked that top left corner.
We say that from the film that we've seen from Whiteside, she's very good at placing her shots, making sure that she puts it where the goalie cannot find it.
I wonder, like, in hockey, like they have like the little targets in the four corners. I wonder if she does something like that in lacrosse.
Definitely something to take into consideration as she, hopefully, for Central Michigan can look to continue to light it up, but much to the chagrin of Marquette's defense. And as they're going to have to tighten it up here as we obviously reach the 1-minute mark in the first quarter.
Yes. For the exception of few games here for Marquette, there have been very few where they've given up single-digit goals, and from the looks of things, that's not going to happen today.
Marquette now working their offensive group with Schumer. Backing it out. Over to Dietrich. And now Garcia. Left side. Spins. Continue to use that left hand. Tries to get one herself, but can't go. Martell with a good cover.
Yeah, good job once again by Central Michigan. I feel like a broken record, but they were able to force Garcia to his side, and she took a shot. She decided to be aggressive. Good job to be aggressive there, especially with about 10 seconds left on this clock.
And as we bleed down the last 10 seconds, it looks like Central Michigan's going to just try to keep it out of the hands of Marquette as the advantage is going to be played here. Moore, trying to take it, but Marquette not going to have any light here at the end of the first. And as we look at the scoreboard, Marquette and the Central Michigan Chippewas knotted up at 6 apiece. Jackson, 1 1/4.
1 1/4 indeed, dominated by the spin move of all things. But no, it was a really exciting first quarter of action between two really solid squads out here today at Valley Fields.
And as we really look at the star player, Jackson, who do you got to give it to in that first?
Oh, man.
It should be pretty easy for Marquette.
Yeah, I got to say, Mary Schumar has been really on fire for Marquette today. I mean, taking her and Lydia Faust, obviously. Lydia Faust had a hat trick in that first quarter, and Mary Schumar had a couple goals in that quarter as well. The one thing I am concerned about in terms of Marquette's offense, only 1 assist on those 6 goals. They got to really start moving the ball.
And Jackson, obviously the question to be asked is what Shea Garcia doing enough?
I mean, it's hard to do a lot. not only is Central Michigan doubling, but they're forcing her into a double. So they'll have someone on her one-on-one, but then like in a zone coverage, they'll shift her off to somebody else.
And hopefully Shea Garcia can get back on the horse in the second, as we're going to throw to Molly here on the sideline. Molly, how is everything going?
Thank you, Jack and Jack. And obviously we have a very tight-knit game going on here, shot for shot. But Marquette has an advantage here. At home this season, they're 2-0, and they have had a winning home record for the last 4 seasons. 5 of the last 7 games played at Valley, and they have a very tough first half. Coach Black said that's the first time in a long time where they have been able to just practice for 4 days in a row. So obviously we should be able to see something happening in the next quarter.
Molly, and now as we look at just some of the stats here at the end of the first, Jackson, one of the biggest things for Marquette has been their ground ball work. 5-2, and really picking up some of those ground balls in the defensive end and going from defense to offense quickly has really been a help for them.
Yeah, I mean, also with those ground balls, they've caused 5 turnovers already here in the first quarter, heading into the second. And something else that also we talked about how they need possession to score. They're winning the draws right now. They had 8 in that first quarter, Central Michigan with 5. So really solid effort from Marquette so far, but Central Michigan's bringing the same energy as well.
And just looking at the shots on goal, pretty much evenly knotted, and you know, like you said, those assists. And who do you think is really going to have to start getting the ball? Like, who do you think can set up these offensive possessions the best and really lead to shots?
Well, normally I would say Mary Schumar, but she's already potted a couple of goals today. So it's going to be dependent on a few other players, I think. Obviously, Shea Garcia, she had that 1 assist, the 1 assist in that first quarter, but might need some other players to show out a little bit. I mean, nice to see a little bit more from maybe Kira Lamont get some action here in the second quarter, but we'll see.
Jackson, as we open the second quarter, if you notice in net, we have a new goalkeeper. We have Brennan Nixon starting in net, and what do you think some of the pitfalls were, in the first quarter with our goals?
Well, there are a couple of times like they were just incredible shots from Central Michigan. The first one we saw from Whiteside was just an absolute snipe, but Amanda Rumsey, normal to her standards, has been struggling a little bit this year. So, and obviously with just the 2 goalies on the roster, I think this is more about getting Nixon some experience here in this game.
As we have Kira Lamont pass it over to Sokodato, who's been a little quiet on the stat sheet, but hopefully she can lead it just like Shea Garcia has been, up to Lamont once more, trying to set up this offense and get a good shot on Martel. As an evasion there leads to a pass up top back to Lamont. She wants to set things back up.
Yeah, she had incredible last season at Furman University last year. She scored 60 goals. Wow. I had to double check a few different spots. I'm like, that's got to be a typo, right?
Seriously.
Yeah, she's having a good year here with Marquette.
Set up for a free position shot. Marquette's going to try to get things going here to start it out. A beeline for the net. A shot blocked by Martel, but a great shot nonetheless off the free position shot.
And that shot was for Shea Garcia. She had a real good opportunity, but like you said, incredible save from Martel.
As now the Chippewas are going to try to take things back their way. An advantage being played here. And now as we lead it to Diebold, she's going to take it back to her net behind the island. And look to set things up. Jasmine Murray on the defense. And we bring it up to the top of their offensive zone with Whiteside passing it over to Potter. And now Courtney Burke. Marquette playing good defense to start out this offensive possession on behalf of the Chippewas.
Yeah, making Central Michigan use as much time as possible, but oh, what a shot!
You really have to hand it to Whiteside to be able to drive in, to pull back out, analyze what's going on near the crease, and really getting a good pass in there, and it leads to a goal for the Chippewas.
Yeah, Maggie Diebold with that one. Goal number 30 on the year for Maggie Diebold. Been a real good player for Central Michigan.
Possibly an early case of the yips for Britta Nixon in between the poles, as Coach Meredith Black really is hoping she can really pull it together here and keep this one from getting out of hand. And obviously with the Chippewas taking the lead here, that's not the end-all be-all considering what happened in the first quarter, Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been tough. And obviously, when I was talking with Coach Black a while back for the season preview story that I wrote with our colleague, sports reporter Kelly Riley, one of the things she said is that coming in as a first year, the hardest position to play is goalie. Because not only you got to worry about saving shots, but you have to somehow become a leader off the rip and be able to communicate with your defense.
Whiteside going to try to take things. Draws the stoppage in play and now wants to take things herself. And she really has had the ball in her stick for quite a bit, considering that she only has one goal. Really a very good offensive maestro for the Chippewas.
Yeah, and that's even though obviously she's got that only one goal, you want the ball in her stick to set everybody else up.
Hoyt now. Over to Patty. Guarded closely by Ellie Henry. Patty trying to get around. She does. Switches. Ooh. And a hard foul there by Marquette's defense, trying to compensate for some of the lack of upkeep there from our defenders.
I believe that's going to be a yellow card.
And a 2-minute penalty coming up here on Molly Powers.
Going to be cross-check, so Central Michigan will head to the woman up advantage.
Now, Jackson, just looking at how Marquette's defense has played today, at full strength, how do you think they're going to be able to handle being women down?
They're going to have to just continue to try and communicate as best they can, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult with the first-year goalie back there, but just continue to communicate and stay in your lanes.
Central Michigan now on the woman up advantage, working behind the net. Goes to Hoyt, Kendall Hoyt. Tries to spin, won't work out, back to Whiteside at the top. Trying to get another shot, and a stoppage in play.
I think that's going to lead to another free position opportunity, and Whiteside got good leverage there on the opportunity to get that free position.
Credit to Whiteside's speed. She was able to draw the stoppage, and a good shot there by Whiteside will fall for her off of the free position shot.
Great start for Central Michigan. You score one goal, you draw a yellow card, and then now you score on the one-up advantage. The stick passes the stick check. That'll be goal number 20 for Audrey Whiteside.
Now, obviously, things have not been easy for Britta Nixon in between the poles, but what do you think Meredith Black will say eventually at halftime to really keep her in the game and really keep her mind and energy where she needs to have it?
I think just staying focused and just not being afraid to speak up a little bit, even though considering your spot, you're in the game for a reason. Coach Black put Nixon in for a reason. So having that confidence, okay, I got to go out and execute and play my best lacrosse.
Especially considering that a lot of Marquette's defense is made up of underclassmen. She should really be a force in directing and working how this defense is supposed to work out for the Golden Eagles.
See if Marquette can get on a run of their own after Central Michigan's got the first couple.
Back to Central Michigan it goes. Picked up there by Elise Marshall. Over to Whiteside. Has a little trouble, picks it up. A little bit of an advantage here for the Chippewas. Callie Moore. Over to Hoyt. Whiteside. Back behind the net it goes. Over to Kelly Hoyt. Swing to Patty. Back over for Potter.
Hoyt sisters come from Ranchos Palos Verdes, California.
And there's another stoppage in play, and we might be looking at another free possession shot.
Not the start Marquette was looking for coming in the second quarter.
Courtney Burke here, getting ready to go. Speeds in, tries to get the shot off herself, and another stoppage in play by the referees.
Well, the refs pulls out a yellow flag. It's going to give Courtney Burke another free position shot.
Marquette trying to play damage control as the pass goes behind the net. Over to Patty. Swing back to Whiteside, takes it with her left. Swings to her right. And great defense there by Lydia Faust. Not just lighting it up on the offensive end as well.
And she's, especially like we've talked about with such a young defensive group, she's going to have to help out a lot more on the defensive end than in years past.
Dive back to Whiteside, a great spin by Whiteside once more, and a shot just a little bit off. But a good cover there by the Chippewas to be able to get this one back. Here's Patty. Over to Whiteside. And they want the ISO. Takes it to her right. No shot there, tries to get it on the inside. And a good save there. The first one of the day for Brenda Nixon. And Marquette will look to take things the other way.
And Faust had a really solid job forcing Whiteside into a tough angled shot.
Audrey Brett wants to talk things over with herself, and now offensive play by Marquette has begun. Swing over to the corner. They're going to let her go behind the net, as Marquette's going to look for a quick shot on the inside. A block shot's going to lead to a stoppage in play, and a free position shot to come for the Golden Eagles in the form of Kira Lamont.
See if she can get goal number 25 on the year in her Marquette career.
Free position shot, and yet another stoppage, and another free position shot for Lamont. What happened there, Jackson?
I mean, it was a good possession there, but just great job by Central Michigan to break it up, but Lamont's going to have another shot at this.
Lamont drives in, shoots immediately, scores! Picture perfect. I like it. Picasso. Good stuff.
Well, yeah, that was a really good shot, and that wasn't even impressive that she was able to get that one by, because Martell, she went down low trying to follow that shot from Lamont, but just a great shot there from the grad student.
Marquette now just one goal down. New life. I feel like we're going to play this one goal differential the whole way through.
And I absolutely love it.
There is nothing better than high-scoring lacrosse.
High scoring and close lacrosse. I'm not as much fun as having broadcasting.
True.
I would not prefer this to be a 20-5
True,
game or something. So.
Much more to talk about on our end.
Exactly.
And credit to Lamont for sticking with it after that first one. I think a lot of times is when you get roughed up after the first free position shot, you kind of want to pass it out and look for another one. But she took it right to the kitchen once more and was able to get a shot by Martell.
Yes. And she has a ton of experience. This is her 5th year playing college lacrosse, so she's probably got a lot of bumps and bruises from some free position shots.
A great pickup from Blee there. Marquette looking for yet another quick goal. Schumar now, who's been playing red hot. Nice little spin. Takes it back to the middle. Behind the net. Who else but Lamont? And a good interception there by the Chippewas, and a stoppage in play is going to lead to an advantage for Central Michigan.
Nice defensive play by Patty there. Even though she's listed as a midfielder, she might as well be a defender.
A lot of these versatile players we've seen, Jackson, obviously in the starting lineups, we saw that there weren't a lot of, name brand defensive players, but the ability for these midfielders to come in and get shots and also come back on the defensive side of the ball and play well is very imperative for the Chippewas' success.
Yeah, and it allows them to play both ways, so they don't have to sub as many players on and off the field. And, midfielders dominate their roster. With the players who at least have a lot of playing time, they got 12 midfielders that they can roll with.
Courtney Burke, good shot.
Great save by Nixon.
As we're going to get another stoppage of play, and the Chippewas are going to take it right behind the net. Now to Hoyt. And over to Diebold. Nice little spin there, guarded closely. Great defense there.
Great job to force that pass out and see what Patty can do here on this one.
Good play. A little bit aggressive, too aggressive for the referee's liking. But nonetheless, being aggressive has really helped Marquette out early. Despite all these advantages that Central Michigan has played, Marquette has continued to be aggressive and hasn't let up.
And you have to be, and especially a close game like this. Obviously, controlled aggression, but I understand the call, but it was a little bit late. That's my only issue with the call.
Diebold, not going to land. Nixon picks it up.
Doubled, oh my goodness.
Nearly tripled. And the advantage goes to the Golden Eagles. A scary moment there for Nixon behind the net.
And that's going to be a little bit of those growing pains for Nixon, trying to get more and more college experience as a first-year goalie.
Brad now over to Lamont. Lamont with a lot of space. She's going to drive right down the right side. Take it behind the net. Driving in. Marquette shoots. Save of a great shot by Lydia Faust.
It's in. Oh, wait.
And they call it off. What a close shot for the Golden Eagles. An opportunity to tie the game up. Not going to go. Jackson, what happened?
Lamont made the first save on the shot, and then the ball went in the air, came down, and it looked like it just didn't get over.
And Potter gets knocked off of her feet and a yellow card given. And the cross check there.
Oh my goodness.
What a crazy turn of events there. As Brennan Patty's going to take a seat. And Audrey Whiteside will re-enter. Chmielewski's is who the yellow card was on.
Central Michigan with their second woman up advantage with a quarter.
Courtney Burke. Guarded closely by the Golden Eagles. Lydia Faust. And a pass that goes errant. Marquette's going to take over now with just about 6:45 left in the first half of play.
And now they just got to try and just clear this one out and chew the last minute 25 off this penalty.
Audrey Brett now. Marquette a woman down, but still trying to make strides as she loses possession, but picks it up and keeps going with the advantage from the referee. Almost triple teamed there. Good pass. Shea Garcia down the right side, guarded by Whiteside. She's got the speed.
Minute left on the power play.
Picked up quickly. Not going to go through on the pass intended for Schumar.
Nice
pickup. So Cadado over to Barley.
It's like Faust trying to direct traffic for the Marquette offense.
Garcia now over to Soldado. Still a woman down, but working well to defeat that. Now just 30 seconds left. Jackson, do we see a shot possibly on this woman down?
You're going to have to. There's 20 seconds left and only about 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
Marquette now trying to make a move. 7 seconds now. Picked up by the Chippewas. Goes the other way with 10 seconds left. On this woman up for the Chippewas. Good strides there made by McKenna Hoon. Advantage being played. Chippewas take it back. McKenna Hoyt with her left hand. 5 minutes left in this first half of play.
Great job by Marquette killing off that woman down deficit right there on that play, and just great job of just hitting L1 and chewing clock.
Absolutely, as now Whiteside's going to take it to her right side. Swung over to Hoon. Drives with her left. Good defense there to stick with it by the Golden Eagles. Basically, you know, in college basketball, when they run out the clock, this is the exact formation that they run as Whiteside spins by and drops a Marquette defender and Audrey Brett.
She didn't score, so it doesn't count. Just like an ankle breaker, you got to score to make it count.
Potter now being mercilessly defended in a stoppage at play by the referee, and Audrey Brett wondering why.
Solid defensive play. I think just a little bit too much hacking with the stick. Right there by the defender. A little bit just like I said, a little bit too much stick work, hacking the stick by Audrey Brett, and that's going to give them a free position opportunity for Potter.
Another stoppage of play is going to go back to Potter. Whiteside now. Just about 4 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first half. A low pass picked up by Burke. Burke back over to Potter. Potter works it, right side, cuts in, good shot, and a good save by Nixon.
Nixon has been huge in this quarter for Marquette. Taking a look here really quick, she's got 3 saves already.
And a much better showing defensively from Marquette this quarter. There's a great spin by Schumar.
Woo!
Works it over to Lamont. Cuts down the right side, spins. Mercilessly again defended by Josie Allen. And a good push over there by Shea Garcia. Behind the net. Lamont looking for a cutter, not going to get one. Set back up by the Golden Eagles. Lydia Faust drives, left shot. Oh! And another goal for Lydia Faust. Absolutely keeping Marquette in this one today.
She absolutely ripped that one home. That was a little bit of a distant shot there from Lydia Faust, and she got half of Marquette's goals today. We're tied up once more, my friend.
Her 14th of the season. Just about 3:13 left. Is there any place you'd rather be than Valley Fields right now? Great showing by the Golden Eagles.
This is an absolute fun one. It's been a real exciting game from both sides, playing some real competitive lacrosse today. Like we talk about with Brenna Nixon, she's got 3 saves in the second quarter. Rumsey didn't have a save at all in that first quarter for Marquette.
Part of the reason why I believe that Meredith Black was able to, it was an easy choice for her to throw Nixon in there, but paying dividends so far for the Golden Eagles.
She's doing a pretty solid job on the year. I mean, she's got a save percentage of 44.1%, but obviously in less time than Rumsey, but looking good so far today.
Picked up by the Golden Eagles. Socodato working on the right side. Another advantage being played. Passing it over to Schumar. And a stoppage in play here. Free position shot.
That's when I think that new strength and conditioning is coming in hand, because there was a push by Central Michigan on Schumar, but the defender's the one who fell down.
Great work by Schumar to stay like a brick wall. Coming in, driving, shooting. And a good pickup there by Byerly, I believe who it was.
It looked like it got deflected, somehow stayed in the air. What hand-eye coordination from Byerly.
Great reaction from Byerly as now Marquette takes the lead with just under 3 minutes to go in the first half of play.
Yeah, like we were talking about, just great hand-eye coordination to sky that one out of the air and just flick those 2 hands down. Yeah, it was his first save by Martell, and it just, wow, that's incredible.
Great positioning from Byerly.
I don't know if I could do that. I played a little bit of baseball, but I don't think I could do that.
It's starting to get a little chilly here at Valley Fields, but meanwhile on the field, the women are picking it up and heating it up.
Strong offensive showing for Marquette. Another big run, 3-0 run for Marquette, and like we've talked about, they're back on top with just under 3 minutes to go.
Chippewas now taking it over on the other side. Avery Wagner. Down the right side. Hoyt coming back into the game, rushing from the top of half field. Quick advantage. Leading to the Chippewa possession being intact here. Wagner to Whiteside, to Burke. Patty now. Swings to Whiteside. Wagner coming off for Hoyt. Whiteside swings to Potter.
Good rotation for Marquette's defense right now.
Jackson, as they continue to bring it out, we see Marquette loosening up on their defense, but the goal here is to really tighten up when the ball gets close to the crease, as we see here.
And that was great. They had 3 players right in the middle of the crease, but So there's going to be another stoppage, and that's going to lead to a free position. But yeah, they had 3 players collapse in, and then once they brought the ball back, Central Michigan brought the ball back out, they spread back out to cover their spots.
And now Hoyt drives in. Tries to muscle it in, not going to go. A great save and a great positioning by Nixon.
It was great defense, too, to help out Nixon on that shot from Timlewski and Murray right there.
And a good ground ball pickup for the Golden Eagles. There's a quick turnaround. A great save by Nixon! How about that?
You pick yourself up when you make a mistake like that, and what a save from Brennan Nixon.
Being able to back it up as Nixon was able to step in front of a moving bullet, it looked like. Geez, that one was fired in there quickly. But again, great positioning by Nixon to take it the other way. And now Marquette's going to look to shake things up, take it the other way. Now we have Lydia Faust, who's been lighting it up all day, trying to get around the Chippewa defender, just missing. And a good cover by the Golden Eagles to take it and keep possession of it.
Man, I hope we can get a replay of that save.
And Marquette bench fired up, as they should be.
Now there's just a minute left here in this first half. See what Marquette decides. The shot clock is not running right now.
Socodato, they're asking for the shot clock to be worked, but the fact that this is under 50 reinforces that point now that Socodato's going to take it with her left hand. Going to try, maybe get a shot off. A nice spin, a quick shot, good! And Marquette increasing their goal. Their differential up to 2 now. And the Chippewas haven't had an answer within the last 5 minutes here.
And Marquette has been absolutely on fire right now for the goal. It's just been incredible. Socodato with her 16th now of the year. Marquette's defense, absolute clamps. They haven't allowed Central Michigan to score in almost 12 minutes.
Jackson, we talked about it at the break, but 18 goals in the first half. That is something else.
That, again, that's something that was on our Marquette Women's Lacrosse versus Central Michigan bingo card today, but we'll take it nonetheless. As now they'll turn the shot clock off since there's only 40 seconds left. See if Marquette can sneak one in here and get a 3-goal lead.
And a infraction there will lead to a Chippewa possession here. Now just down to 32 seconds. They're really going to have to get something going. Jackson, if you were the Chippewas, who do you want to see get the ball in the last 30 seconds here?
Number 7 in burgundy and gold, Audrey Whiteside. But now there's just about 15 seconds left as Whiteside now has it.
Whiteside works it.
10 left.
And who else? Who's got the ball? But a good spin by Whiteside. Spins it over to the right side. Once more a spin and a good shot.
Oh, wow.
And a buzzer beater for Whiteside. Jackson, you jinxed it.
I didn't jinx it.
I set you up for it.
I said that she would want it in her hands. I didn't say she was going to score.
I take partial responsibility for that one, but Marquette still leading by 1 with 1 second. Yesterday, watching the men's lacrosse team, 2 buzzer beater goals against Marquette, and now a 3rd on Sunday afternoon as Marquette trying not to get down by that one, and really nothing Nixon can do as we look at the replay here. Yeah. Whiteside with how many spins?
There were like 2 or 3 spins, and she was doubled. I think the thing is that Murray didn't keep her stick in the lane after bumping Whiteside, and that's what opened her up for that last-second shot.
And that'll do it for the first half. Marquette clinging to a 1-goal lead as this one's been all over the place. So many lead changes. 10-9 here at the end of the first half. Jackson, we've been talking about it all broadcast, but it's crazy.
Yeah, it's been an absolute crazy game so far. Lydia Faust with 4 goals on the day for Marquette to lead the way. And then looks like Audrey Whiteside, 5 total points.
Wow. As we're going to send it over to our 3rd member of our broadcast team, Molly Gretzlock. Molly, what do you got for us?
Yeah, obviously this was a very tight, close half, but Marquette obviously has the ledge here. And like I said in my last hit, Marquette loves to play at home. They have a winning home record. And obviously this senior class, they don't want to go out without a fight. I was talking to Shay Garcia, obviously senior, and she said that they're playing for a Big East championship. So going into Big East conference play in the next games, this game, we should see them a big fight coming into the second half. Back to you guys.
A big fight indeed. Thank you, Molly, as we're going to go to halftime here and take a short break. Don't go anywhere. This one is going to get crazy in the second half, Jackson. Marquette leading 10-9 here. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories? I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that. Can birds draw pictures? I don't have an answer for that. Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a ha-ha in ha-ha-ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzz warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
What are they?
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps. Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We have this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet,
we discover
they're a little bit of a lot of things,
but they're all pure love.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown, and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay. Yeah. Hey Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert? Oh, He took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Welcome back to a chilly day in Milwaukee, Wisconsin here as Marquette is clinging to a 1-goal lead over the Central Michigan Chippewas. Jack Lewandowski here alongside Jackson Gross. Jackson, let's talk some of these highlights we've seen in the first. Obviously, we've had a goalie change. We've had, obviously a high-scoring game as we've seen. But, just talk through some of the things that you're seeing on the screen here.
Well, there's just been an incredible half from both sides offensively. And, there have just been some really interesting plays so far. That one play where we thought that Lydia Faust had scored another goal, but a great job by Central Michigan to get that one out. And then Brenna Nixon turning it over in that first half and making an incredible save. But, yeah, it's been an incredible half of lacrosse here at Valley Field.
So let's talk about two players from Marquette that have been polarizing so far, and that's Brenna Nixon and Lydia Faust. So, those two players have been lighting it up.
Yeah, Lydia Faust, she's got 4 goals. Mary Schumar, she's potted home a couple in that first half. And you're absolutely right talking about Brenna Nixon. Amanda Rumsey, she gets 1 quarter of action, gives up 6 goals, doesn't even make a save. And then Brenna Nixon comes in, she's got 4 saves and only given up 3 goals. So she's had an incredible quarter of lacrosse, but she can tack on 2 more.
And one of the things we talked about at the end of the first quarter, Jackson, were the assist totals for both teams. And obviously Central Michigan leading, that statistic by a wide margin of 4-1. What do you think is going to be the key to Marquette? Obviously they have 9 unassisted goals so far, but do you think that assisted goals rather are really going to be the key to winning in the second half?
Well, they've done pretty well without getting an assisted goal. They got the 1 goal. That 1 assist from Shea Garcia, but it just means it's better overall if you can get some more assists going, but they got the lead. Don't broke what's not broken.
So let's throw it down to the third member of our team, Molly Kretzlock here. Molly, how was the half from your perspective?
Thank you, guys. Obviously, we are getting set for the second half, which I suspect is going to be very close and very aggressive. Now, obviously, the seniors on this team know what is seems like they have been here for a while in this Marquette program. Specifically, I know you guys have said a lot about Shea Garcia. She is somebody that I asked who was she motivated by, and she says she has taken this year to just sit back and enjoy lacrosse. The simple things. Coach Black said that she's very light on her feet this season, just enjoying the game, just looking around the field, seeing who's open, looking to her teammates, and taking those open shots. We'll see what happens in the second.